Welcome back. My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. This is Pat Talks Law. Windshield time, which seems to be the only time I have lately. Things are very, very busy at the firm right now. We're in the process of purchasing a new office building. I expect to close on that at the end of the month, and then we'll start moving into our new offices in September. We'll do something on that when we get there. And this is also crunch time for medical marijuana in Missouri. Getting facility licenses worked up. We have a couple of clients that we are in the fight for. So that's good. So we're working on several medical marijuana facility licenses. And I do have some high hopes for them, although the competition is very, very, very tough. So we'll see how that works out. I get a lot of calls from people regarding patient cards. And now that the patient cards are being issued, more than 4,000 in the first month of availability, I got to tell you, that is incredible. The University of Missouri report predicted there would only be 19,000 by, I think it was 2021, which clearly these numbers make me think that the researchers are very, very off. What we have to look at going forward for patient cards is, where are these numbers coming from? There's a lot of data that would be very helpful for dispensary cultivation facility owners to know if the patient identification, the patient cards are coming out of the cities or if they're spread out geographically balanced. If they are geographically balanced, then we could hit a lower peak for patient ID cards faster than we might think. I believe that they are coming out of the cities mainly, and that's because of availability of doctors that will sign off on them. Your medical marijuana clinics are seeing people as fast as they can. So it's going to be a situation where there is going to be a massive rush, and we are still growing in that. So let's talk about the concerns our medical marijuana patients have. First, the card holders want to know if there's no legal marijuana on the street from dispensaries, is the source of the marijuana that they have going to be an issue? Are they going to wind up going to jail because the marijuana in their possession, while they possess the card, hasn't came from a dispensary? Well, I wish I could give you an answer to that. The answer, quite simply, is maybe. And that's really going to be a factor of the prosecutor for that particular county and how they want to read and interpret these regulations. If the prosecutor is going to be difficult, then you'll have a problem. If the prosecutor is not going to be difficult, you're not going to have a problem. And the reason I say that is, simply put, where the regulations talk about medical marijuana card holders, it talks about you can't redistribute marijuana. We don't have a source for that marijuana at the moment. So yeah, you're taking a little bit of a chance. However, you've got a viable argument that the regulations allow you to possess up to 4 ounces of marijuana. And let's be honest. If you are involved in the marijuana industry, legal or illegal, and you don't have a marijuana card, you are going to be taking a chance with your freedom. You're going to be taking a chance anyway, but you will certainly be taking a significant chance as in felony time, if you don't. So if you have any involvement with marijuana, you smoke it on the weekends, you smoke it to help your knees, you smoke it to help your anxiety, you smoke it for any reason at all, and you have not gotten a medical marijuana card, you absolutely 100% need to, because you are taking a stupidly dangerous risk. That is equivalent to driving around without insurance. You might not get caught, but you could. So, that said, go get your cards. There is a push, and there needs to be a push for legalization. We're seeing movement in Congress. Okay, there have been more than 60 bills filed in Congress for marijuana-related topics, and that is awesome. Right now, we have the most cannabis-friendly Congress we have ever had. In the Missouri legislature, yeah, we're having some issues. We're not quite there yet, but the legislature hasn't yet seen the vast money that's going to be rolling in and by right outside their control. Once the legislature sees all the money rolling through Missouri for marijuana that they cannot touch, I think you're going to see a difference in their consideration and approach. I think you'll start seeing a move towards legalization and taxation. Okay, there was a legalization ballot measure that was approved, I believe, in 2015. We need to revitalize one of those. We, frankly, need to put it on the ballot. There is currently a ballot proposal going around, STOP, that is working to end the personal property tax, which is really, really a horrible, horrible tax that prevents a lot of lower income people from being able to improve their situation. If you buy a slightly nicer car, you pay more taxes every year that you may not be able to afford. You know, personal property tax is horribly, horribly impactful on lower income folks. You know, a higher income person, look, we bought two new cars in the past 2 years. You know, my family can afford it. We're very blessed. We're at the point now where we can afford it. For many years, I drove a frickin' 30-year-old hoopty. So, but one of our factors in buying our cars was what the personal property tax was going to be every year, because we have to plan on being able to afford to keep the property we purchase. And the bottom line is, as long as you're paying property tax to the government, you don't frickin' own it. Here's a trick. Don't pay your property tax and see who owns your property, really. So they're going around there seeking signatures, they're doing fundraising. You should look it up on Facebook, STOPP, get in, help support it, help drive it, you know, volunteer. They need people collecting signatures out at the fair. They need people out collecting signatures all around. If you want to collect signatures in any of the counties around in Dare County, come see me, we'll get you a form. I will help with that process to get out and collect signatures. The bottom line here is we have a shot at making a real impact on how taxes are impacting our citizens. Now, there's going to be a lot of pushback on this ballot measure from the Missouri Municipal League, from the counties, from the school districts that are all going to be fighting the personal property tax change because they get funding from it. You know, that's going to have an impact to the tax base of about 1.3 to 1.6 billion dollars a year. They're going to seek to raise that money in some other way. You might see a rise in sales tax. You might see a rise in some other taxes. And actually, sales tax is an equitable tax. Sales tax is a more fair tax to everybody involved because people spend according to their means. So that is coming up, and I think that we all need to pay attention to that. I'm going to be doing some commentary on some legal topics of public interest here in the very near future. We've got some stories that are developing Missouri courts and Missouri legal stories that I think would benefit from the opinion of an actual lawyer. And then there are some national impact news items that I think are pretty interesting. But I'm going to avoid the overtly political ones because, quite frankly, we all have political opinions and they all stink. You don't care what my political philosophy is. So let's talk about law. Let's talk about the implementation of politics, which is law. Our politicians will pass laws, and then we, as citizens, as lawyers, as the judicial system, are tasked with implementing them and enforcing them, and sometimes overturning them when they're deemed unconstitutional. For example, Senator Hawley's move to require a limitation to your social media viewing time. You know, social media is addictive. The bill he proposed, the first thought I had was, there goes his presidential ambitions. Senator Hawley was professor at University of Missouri School of Law while I was a student there. He is one of the smartest, if not the smartest person I have ever met, and he completely missed the boat on that. I have no idea why. I'm gonna blame staff because Senator Hawley is more thoughtful than that. That said, yeah, I couldn't support what he put out there for the limitation bill. Folks, you got to pay attention to what your legislature and congressmen are doing. It's very important, and it will impact your life in many, many, many ways. We'll talk about the labeling bill coming up in the very near future, and I do expect to have a discussion about the implementation of licensing once facilities are licensed. It's going to be a huge clusterfuck for the first few months. Dispensaries are going to be the easiest to spin up, but they won't have any product because the cultivation facilities, once they're approved, have to start growing. Once cultivation facilities start growing, you'll have 60 cultivation facilities. A couple of those are only going to grow seeds and sell to other cultivation facilities. A couple of them, I mean, you know, they may only sell to manufacturing facilities. So there's going to be a massive shortage of marijuana once they spin up and it all gets to the dispensaries. Shortage means expensive. We haven't talked about the seed-to-sale tracking system, what that's going to cost, and who's going to run it yet, because we don't know. We haven't yet talked about the testing facilities. What kind of backlogs are they going to have in getting crops tested and getting products tested? We don't know. So there's a lot we don't know, and we're not sure how it's going to work out. But those of you that are thinking that you're going to have medical marijuana on the streets by midsummer of 2020, gosh, I really hope so. But you need to be looking towards early to mid-fall. And we've not even touched upon the construction shortages that these businesses are going to have. once they get their license, they get their certification, it's a conditional license. So they will have to then meet all of the requirements under the constitutional amendment and regulations and have a compliance check, a compliance inspection. That final inspection is required before the full license is issued. If they don't pass that final inspection, will there be another one? I don't know. I'm sure there will be, and they'll have a punch list of things that have to be fixed. But how long is that going to take? I don't think you're going to be able to see any compliance inspections undertaken before mid to late March. If the company already has their cultivation facility being constructed and have everything in process, they are still going to be stymied by seed to sale tracking. How can they track their plants and get seeds in the ground if the seed to sale tracking isn't in place? That's a problem. We have the Immaculate Conception, okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll have a run that's only going to have harvest to sale tracking. I don't know. So that's going to be some of the interesting things, and that's coming up. I mean, we're talking about next spring. We'll see how that works out. So that's your medical marijuana update. That is your windshield time for today. I will say and let you know that despite my having very little time, I am documenting some weight loss on a new channel. I stepped on a scale when I got back from scout camp. I hit 344 pounds, and oh my God, that cannot stand. So as of this morning, I've been transitioning to a full keto diet. I am on a full keto diet as of this morning, and we are going to document and follow how this works and what goes into it. There'll be some video of the kitchen and things that are going on, recipes, what the food is like. You'll probably hear some crying about how I miss good Italian bread or good French bread, or hell, just bread. So there'll be various things that come up as in that series. If you'd like to subscribe to that one, please join us. The channel name is Fat Guy Ketos. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a smart ass. That's not going to change. So that's Fat Guy Ketos. Please go over that channel. I will put a link in the description. Subscribe to that one. Join me on that path. You can either encourage me or heckle me. It doesn't matter. But come along. It should be a ride. Like and subscribe to this channel. And I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.